Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe. How you doing?
Doing good.
It's our last show of the year. Why are we doing 30 shows in a season?
Stupidity.
Just
Abject.
We could be
Abject
on
stupidity.
season 6 right now.
And we should be.
It would be like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it
Which
would be.
I think
Here's the
was
thing.
7. I'm not sure.
I got really good advice early on from a dude.
I'm not sure it was good advice if it told you to do the wrong thing.
No, it didn't. I chose that.
That, by definition, is not good advice.
So he said that most podcasts don't make it to past episode 30.
Yes, exactly. It was like 95% of podcasts don't get to episode 30.
A lot of them don't even get to episode 4.
Right.
So I was like, well, if I make a season 30 episodes, we were going to post 2 times a week for 15 weeks.
Right.
Which would have been like 15 episodes,
right,
but times 2.
But when we started, we were doing it every single day.
Well, we were recording every single day.
Man, that was nuts.
And I would edit together like 2 shows a week.
Yeah.
But then I had like maybe 6 or 8 shows stocked up.
Yes.
And then we were like, 2 a week is not fun.
No.
That's getting intense.
No. 2 a week is not fun. We either shoot the show on a Saturday and edit it on a Sunday, or shoot it on Sunday and edit it on the Sunday, which is what we'll end up doing today.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing anything.
No.
It's like, I'm saying edit it. Like I have nothing to do with the edit. All I have to do is be cute and charming on the show, and I'm doing a bad job of that.
I'm glad you acknowledged that.
Hey, you like my top hat?
It's a top hat.
It's a top hat, you know?
Instead of getting a day off every week, I do the podcast, and sometimes I would rather have a day off. But also, it's just really dumb that we have 60 episodes and only 2 seasons.
I agree. So
we're going to not do that anymore.
See, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if in the middle of this thing we can go, okay.
I absolutely
We started this thing as
the same
30. Wait. We started this thing as 30 episodes as a season, and now we're going to be like 5 episodes as a season.
No, I'm not going to be 5. It's probably going to be like 12.
12. Okay.
So that's 3 months on.
Okay.
And then maybe a few months off.
I mean, folks, if you have an opinion about this, really.
No one has an opinion.
Oh, there's opinions.
No one gives a
Well, yeah, that's true too. That's probably true too.
They got their own shit to deal with.
Speaking of podcasts,
okay,
I'm
going to let you say
there is a podcast that is featured on this show that we binged the hell out of called Nobody Wants This.
That's a podcast?
Yeah, remember they have their podcast on the show.
Oh,
that's like featured on the show.
Podcast.
Yes,
yeah.
And the name of their podcast is Nobody Wants This.
No, it's not.
Yes, that's the name of the podcast.
That's not the name of the podcast.
That is the name of the podcast.
Really?
Yes, because they were talking about changing the name of the podcast.
Oh, Adam Brody.
Oh, you nailed it. Very good. Adam Brody, who shows up occasionally and is just so good in things. Like, I love him in Jennifer's Body. I love him in Jennifer's Body.
As low shoulder.
Through the trees.
Kid Detective. I really liked Kid Detective.
Kid Detective was, I think we talked about Kid Detective on the show one time.
Maybe.
That it was such an incredible movie. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's great.
I tried to get Adam Brody in our movie. When we think about it, there are a lot of romantic comedy series that we've just jumped into.
We like that.
Yeah. Like Platonic.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell. What is she most famous for?
Isn't she married to Dax Shepard?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Which is really gross.
Oh, yeah. He was a rabbi and Jewish, and it's a thing if you're with a Gentile when you are Jewish, and especially if you're a rabbi, for that matter. And then also her friends were like, oh, especially her sister, you're not fun anymore because you're happy on the podcast. And everybody was basically not necessarily trying to keep them apart, but being negative.
Yeah, nobody wanted them to date.
Right. Nobody wanted them to date. And they had great chemistry, and they
did have really cute. Good. Yeah, I felt that. I feel like that was probably a nice reprieve from her husband.
We watched that one show, Bless This Mess, that he was in, and we liked it.
Possibly.
Remember?
Yeah, I did like that. Was that him?
Yes, that was him.
If I'm right,
yes,
and she is married to that guy.
Maybe.
I just don't get it. He's such a like I can smell his dorm room.
Is that what we're calling it now? The other thing that I think is really good for the show is it is great promotion for the Jewish faith.
Oh.
It really is.
Except it always comes down to, will you or won't you stay in your faith?
I know. If your belief system is making you have to be with someone or says that you can't be with someone, drop that system. And how is that different than, I don't know, eugenics?
No, I mean,
how is it any different than that?
Sound any different?
I mean, yeah. How is that any different than, Vance saying, well, we need more white people?
I think he's got like several kids. I don't know if he's currently one, but he was one at some point and will probably always be one. He's an incel.
Yeah. Dude, here. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
And there's something about super conservative white men.
Right.
That it's like, yeah.
Okay,
they're an incel.
Incel is involuntarily celibate.
Right.
So the idea is that, when you think
that
of an
it's
incel,
a woman's fault that you're a dick.
Right. So
and that you're a violent
it's all
dick.
It's all these like 20-year-olds and they're in their parents' basement and they're
you're
playing
an unhappy
Fortnite.
Dick
Yeah, and
because some woman won't let you use her as a cum dumpster.
But there's a new kind of incel, which are basically conservative men who don't like women.
Well, I think they're conservative white men who are married to women and hate.
They hate women. They truly they don't think that they're as smart.
Somehow,
they don't think that they're funny. They don't think that they're anything.
Maybe they're not smart because somehow they can live in that house.
They're mad about the fact that, their wives are not from like Mad Men. They're mad about the fact that their wives are working and they're not at home making a meatloaf.
I would be too. I want meatloaf made for me.
It's ridiculous.
I work and come home and have to do squat all.
So they
sounds great.
They have all of the attitude of an incel. Okay? It's not that they can't have sex.
Well,
it's that their wives don't want to have sex with them because
their
wives know that they don't like women.
They're dicks.
They're dicks. Okay? If you're a dick, you ain't getting no dick. That's the way it is.
Well, I'm not sure that's how you say that. If you're a dick, you
ain't getting no pussy.
Have no opportunity to use
your dick. No, absolutely. And these women are quite aware of the fact.
I guess I don't know why they're doing it, and somewhere in the back of my mind, I hope it's satirical. I hope it's like they come out and they're like in little pink furry collared outfits and they're just laughing their asses off when these guys get drug away.
I'm going to turn it around right now because there is a story.
It's been on our list.
It's been on our list since the first show.
I don't know, first week or two of shows.
Listen, for the purpose of this.
Okay, since our first show.
Yes, before we even thought of having a show, we were like, you know what? We should tell this story.
Yes.
This would be good. And have we ever told this story before?
Never. It's never come up.
It's a very specific story.
We used to live in Albany, New York.
Yes.
And I really loved living in our little weird place.
Yeah, I really.
So we lived right around the corner from a Price Chopper, this grocery store up here.
I mean, that's something I really do miss. Being able to
walk over and get sour cream or whatever you need.
Was
it's like, hey, Ryan, get this. It was great.
That's where you came up with the term tumbleweave.
Yeah, because there would be lots of fights. There were always lots of fights in the parking lot, and people would start snatching hair out of each other's head. And there was always like clumps of
hair on the ground, and you were like, "That's tumbleweave."
Yeah, it would just be a ball of weave going boing 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 through the parking lot. Yeah, it's a real thing. And also, there was a Redbox there.
There was a Redbox there.
The days of Redboxing.
Redboxing is not a thing anymore. Actually, I just saw that there are 23,000 Redbox kiosks that are for sale.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What would you do? Would it just be like in your house, like from a bygone era?
I guess.
An error from an era. Yes.
I guess. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a lot of waste. That's a lot of plastic, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. That's microplastic city.
So you go and buy a bag of groceries.
Yeah. I've got a couple of bags of groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're at the Redbox and you sit down your groceries.
Sit down next to them.
So you can use your hands on the Redbox machine.
Right.
Then you get the Redbox and you pick your groceries up.
Pick my groceries up and I come home.
There's someone waiting behind you.
They're waiting behind me.
That place was popping.
Very popping.
So you get home, you put the groceries up on the counter, I go to use them and make dinner.
Yes.
And I'm like, whoa, because like we were really poor.
We was broke.
We had no money. I'm pulling out stuff from this grocery bag and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Boar's head deli meat? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was some sweet, sweet stuff.
Like sliced cheese from the deli? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was like $65 worth of stuff.
I mean, was like, it was amazing. Why did you buy this stuff?
Yeah.
It's delicious, but this was a lot of money.
What, about 15 years ago?
And it was like that really grainy mustard.
Yeah.
Somebody was going to have a nice sandwich.
Like, what up there?
And and you were like, wait, that's not my groceries.
That's not my groceries.
And I'm like, well, we're keeping it, right? I'm like, do we need our groceries? So we're like, what's the best option ethically here?
So I went back over there.
Took them back.
Yes. And said, hey, has anybody...
To the manager, the store manager, like, hey.
No, he's like, yeah, there was a guy that was just in here and he was really pissed that someone had taken his groceries. So he just rebought all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see ya.
Sorry, he left him. It was a simple swap.
Here's the thing. You accused me of stealing that I knew.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Our friend did.
Josh
Our friend
accused me.
said
all right.
that you definitely knew you were picking up the wrong groceries.
Well, you also thought that, I mean, how could you not know that you were picking up the wrong grocery?
The thing.
It was like one of those.
I believe
it was like one of those scenes between spies in an elevator where one sets down a briefcase and the other one picks it up.
I fully believe that you are capable of setting down your groceries and picking them up and not getting the right ones.
I think that
you absolutely are.
And I think that I appreciate the fact that you believe in that level of ineptitude on my part.
I think you're oblivious enough that you wouldn't even
notice. I am.
You wouldn't even notice if there was anything in there.
I am oblivious. Thank you very much.
If there was like a French baguette sticking out of that bag, you would not notice it.
It could go right up my ass and I wouldn't even notice it. French baguette sticking out of my ass. I go all the way home and you're like, what's that baguette doing in your booty hole?
And you're like,
that's a booty baguette.
Huh?
What? There's a French baguette in my ass. But Josh has insisted.
You stole him.
That I knew and that I stole that man's groceries.
I have been dealing with like DCP files and MOV files and exporting things for theaters this like past couple days. And that's a nightmare. And I'm fully pissed about the DCP world and how erratic and stupid they are and why this even exists and why we can't just do MOVs anymore. Because nobody locks their DCP. A DCP is supposed to be like a film on a hard drive so that the studios don't have to ship film cans anymore.
Right.
And they have like these encrypted like locks. So you have to put in a password to open it, to get it, and to do this. And there's controls that they have. Now, us out here in the independent world, outside of like Iron Man and Marvel and all of that crap, we're not locking ours.
This only
it's so annoying.
This only really comes up when you are doing a film festival.
Well, in a theater.
In a theater.
And a lot of theaters stopped being able to accept anything other than DCP. And they've never really perfected this technology.
No.
And it's just, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
It goes wrong just as much as it goes right. It really does.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, and it takes a really long time.
It does.
It's like 8 hours. I mean, geez, to like get this thing to do what it does, and then it doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
It's really annoying.
Yeah.
And there are companies who like, even the ones who charge you like by the minute or whatever, there's really no guarantee it's going to work ever.
No.
So I updated and I noticed this.
What did you notice?
Whenever you right click your hard drive to eject it, right under eject is erase.
See, that's not
Who
smart.
does that?
That's not smart.
It terrifies me every time I click eject because
that's
going to
hit
erase.
Okay, now if you hit erase, does it give you one of those like, are you sure you want to erase this?
Probably, but I would pass out if that happened. Sometimes I don't delete everything in my trash can even.
Tracy, have you passed out? Tracy, did you accidentally? Yeah. Do you always have the like knowledge that no matter what happens, at least it's in the cloud somewhere?
Okay. The cloud
is
so annoying.
Oh, why is the cloud annoying?
I do have that on because I had a couple of years ago, I had a laptop snafu.
Okay.
And when...
What was this the one that was caught in the fire?
Yes, the one that we lost in the fire. Okay, let's say you save a photo to your desktop.
Correct.
And your desktop gets backed up to the cloud.
Yes.
Now, it looks like it lives on your hard drive, and it does. But you've lost access to it unless you have internet. So anything that's on your desktop, you have to re-download from the cloud to get access to it.
So when you just said that, it looks like it lives on your laptop. I imagine like this little guy.
Little monster guy.
And he was like,
I live on the laptop.
Exactly. I've got a little one bedroom walk up right here on this inside this laptop.
I was watching this movie.
Okay.
Like the ones that I watch when I go to bed.
Okay.
When you're asleep.
Is this a movie that I would have no interest in watching?
No interest.
No interest. Okay, it's one of those
It was called
movies.
like Tell Them You Love Me.
Okay.
It was about like this man who had some disease. His like nurse who was helping him learn to communicate. They like fall in love and stuff.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it was like the title is saying like, tell your family you love me, because she was going to leave her husband and they were going to be together. This dude can't talk, and this dude like can't do much at all.
Wow.
So I was watching
Sounds so entertaining.
Well, I wanted to see how it ended up, because like, is she like Mary Kay Letourneau? Did she end up in prison? Like, what's the deal?
Right.
So I watched like maybe 30, 40 minutes of it one night. I watched like 15 or 20 minutes the next night.
Right.
And now, all of a sudden, you have to pay for it.
What?
And it made me think.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, it made me think like, I wonder if there's an algorithm that tracks. Like what if,
Maybe.
Let's say you were watching Friends on streaming. Okay. And you got to like see midway through season 2.
Right.
And all of a sudden you had to pay per episode or for the season.
It's possible.
I mean, they can absolutely do that.
Of course they could. Actually, Elon Musk this week like revealed
what has happened to this guy?
Oh, fuck this guy.
Has he always been this crazy? Seeing him jump around on that stage.
Oh, God.
I would never get on a spaceship he had anything to do with.
He
on a rocket
or
a low orbit space vehicle.
Yeah.
No way.
I mean,
that guy is nuts. How come that's tantamount to who was the guy who was running for president? And he was like, "Yow!" Who was that guy?
Oh, the yow. Oh yeah, I know what you're doing. Well, see, that was another time in history, babe, when actually what you said and what you did mattered to people. Yeah, that's different.
I can't remember that guy's name, which goes to show.
I don't remember.
But he went, yow!
Yeah, he did, yow! Yeah.
I mean, that's the exact same to me as what Elon did on the stage. Yeah. It's the exact same to me.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really
and like
lame.
all of this shit gets recalled.
He's on the wrong side of history. He's like against his transgender son.
Like he literally created iRobot.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I look at those robots and they look so much like
they do look like the iRobot robots. Yes, exactly.
And I'm just like they're gonna glow red. They're glowing red.
Will Smith will not be able to save us.
I'm Will Smith, and I think those things are bullshit. And I would love to have a robot that like cleaned my house. Don't get me wrong.
That would be pretty sweet.
I would love that.
Yeah. But I will not be getting. I will not be getting into a taxi that has no pedals and has no wheel.
Oh, like the van?
Yeah, man. No way.
But here's the thing. Okay, let's say you have this robot and they're like more and more intelligent, right? I don't know. At some point, you're interacting with this thing. Yes, it's a machine and it's been built. I don't know. There's something that comes off kind of not ethical.
Yeah.
About its use in a way for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad about my bread machine because that's like all it does and it doesn't think.
Right.
And it's specifically made to make bread.
Right.
For me.
Right.
Talk to me.
And you're controlling the bread. Right. You're like putting the ingredients in. It's not like
my bread machine could make bread itself and it spoke to me.
And it made a decision. I think you need this kind of bread. And then
it was like helping me and we had a good rapport. I don't know. Like it weirds me out a little bit.
It is weird, man.
That in some way that would end up in the dehumanization of actual human beings.
Yeah.
And turning them back into just things that we use.
Yes.
I don't think things that we use, I really appreciate the things that I have that I use.
Right. Well, speaking of weird, Josh wanted us to talk about something. I said, Josh, you're our one listener that we know of. We may know of a few more listeners. I don't know. But we actually know about Josh. And Josh listens to the show. And he said, well, talk about Diddy. I just want to say, we're not going to talk about Diddy. But I was going to tell you that Josh asked us to talk about Diddy. And that is as far as we're going to be talking about that. By the time we are back, we will have a new president.
Wow.
Yes. All of the holidays will have happened. We will have shot our movie.
Yeah.
Sky Valley.
Yeah.
Next season, we'll have something for you.
Well, I want to say thank you for this second season.
Who are you saying thank you to?
You.
I'm saying thank you to you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Being a great partner and being funny.
Thank you.
Really smart.
Thank you for being a great partner and funny and smart as well.
You can't just repeat everything I say. You have to come up with your own.
I have to come up with my own?
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. Jon and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.